Holy crap, Star Wars fans. Breaking and ridiculous news. Rosario Dawson is going to be Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian Season 2. Let's break down where this report is coming from and speculate about what it means. Holy crap, this is crazy. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Use your force powers to smash the like button. And let's get right into the video. This is the Star Wars news we've been looking for. In a move that I imagine will be universally loved and praised by all different kinds of Star Wars fans, Rosario Dawson will be Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian Season 2. And the source on this is great. It's coming from Peter Scaretta over at /Film. I'm going to read right from the article for a bit, and then we'll talk about what this means. The report says, we have exclusively learned that Rosario Dawson will appear in The Mandalorian Season 2 and are excited to report that she will be playing fan favorite character previously only seen in the Star Wars animated productions. Dawson will be playing the live-action version of Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker's Jedi Padawan apprentice who appeared in Star Wars The Clone Wars and in Star Wars Rebels. This would be the character's first appearance in live action. Dave Filoni, the co-creator of Ahsoka in animated form, is a writer, producer, and director on The Mandalorian. He made his live action directorial debut helming multiple episodes of the first season, and we saw a couple of weeks back that Dave Filoni had returned as director for the second season. We have confirmed this Dawson casting with two independent sources. We reached out to Lucasfilm to request a statement from the company or Dave Filoni, but received no response. We have been chasing this scoop for a month now and have reached out to Rosario's reps, who also didn't respond. Oh, baby, when they don't respond, it's usually really true. This is a fan casting dream come true. In 2017, a fan tweeted at Rosario Dawson asking her to appear in the Star Wars movie as Ahsoka, and the actress responded with, yes, please, #Ahsoka lives. This tweet spurred groups of fans to campaign for her to play the role. Dawson was later asked about the fan campaign while appearing on Good Morning America. She commented that it would be amazing. As a fan of the character and Dawson, I'm excited to see Ahsoka make her live-action debut in The Mandalorian. And the article then goes on to explain who Ahsoka is and sort of speculate about how she'll tie into all of that, okay? But yes, very cool. This is a great exclusive at a time when, let's just be real, the world desperately needs some good news, so this is quite frankly amazing. Now let me talk about my personal feelings about the casting, and then we'll kind of speculate about what it means for the story. So I love this casting. I think she's perfect for the role. She has the physicality. If you've seen her in the Daredevil show or even in any of the Marvel Netflix shows, she's a very physical actress. I think she's awesome. And I've liked her in almost everything I've seen her in, and that includes that crazy movie Death Proof that she did with Quentin Tarantino. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty freaking cool. Now, Ahsoka is a fan favorite. Like, people just absolutely love the Ahsoka character. She kind of grew up with us. She was introduced at the very early beginning of the Clone Wars, and she was not liked by a lot of fans. She was really whiny, but then literally we watched this character grow up with us and grow with Anakin over time, and she just became beloved. People absolutely love her. The most recent episode of the Clone Wars, she makes a return after, we haven't seen her in that timeline since she left the Jedi Order. We get to see her again. It was very cool. Fans are very excited to see what she's going to do in the rest of this current Clone Wars season. Now, how could Ahsoka be involved with the story? I think all Star Wars fans immediately go to the child. The child, this force-sensitive, incredibly powerful young baby of the Yoda species. Baby Yoda, right? Everybody's thinking about how that could connect to the Force and to Ahsoka's plans. Now, in the timeline of the Star Wars universe, this would take place after, of course, the rebellion defeating the Empire at the Battle of Endor, and potentially after Sabine joins Ahsoka on a quest to go find Ezra Bridger. That epilogue at the end of Rebels is the last time that we see Ahsoka, and though we can't completely date that scene, it clearly happens after the events of the Skywalker saga, at least up until Return of the Jedi. So it's in a post-Return of the Jedi world. And so it is very possible that not only will we see a live-action version of Ahsoka Tano, but we might actually see a live-action version of Sabine and potentially even Ezra Bridger. Now let's talk about Sabine for just a second. Sabine is a Mandalorian. Obviously, she held the Darksaber before. We've heard from Giancarlo Esposito that the Darksaber is going to play a big role, and there'll be way more lightsaber fights in this upcoming season. His words, not mine. And so, look, we know we're going getting the darksaber, but could we potentially get other lightsabers? Could Ahsoka Tano be doing some lightsaber fighting? I'm getting a little distracted and off track, but I say all of this to say that I think there is a link between bringing in Sabine and the future for Din Djarin. Din Djarin's future with Mandalore and how they might all come together could be very, very interesting. And so you could see in the next couple of weeks, maybe a scoop breaks about Sabine being cast for that show. Now, beyond that, there's room for Ezra Bridger to be a part of this too. Maybe they'd already gone on their quest and found Ezra at this point, and maybe Ezra and Sabine are looking to sort of rebuild the Jedi Order or to do something with Force-sensitive children around the galaxy, and you can see that kind of playing out as well. But that's less likely than the Sabine thing because we don't know how this story is going to unfold with Ezra and Thrawn, and that whole situation could be something told in a book by Timothy Zahn, could be in the Rebels sequel, which is rumored to be another animated show coming out from Disney, right? We don't know what the story is going to be there. It could potentially take place before what we see in The Mandalorian, or it could potentially take place after what we see in The Mandalorian. So just a lot of crazy possibilities, but the fact that you have Sabine, or rather the fact that you have Ahsoka now attached to the story of Din Djarin and the child leaves a lot of connections from Rebels to The Mandalorian. By the way, if you're looking for something to do in these times when we're all kind of staying at home, I would suggest checking out Star Wars Rebels if you have not yet. More now than ever, because I truly believe a lot of those storylines might carry over into what we see in The Mandalorian in season 2. This also would make it completely possible to have Ahsoka show up in other properties in live action. She could have her own show, which would be simply terrific. And I just think back to that time, it was about a year ago, when Dave Filoni was asked about possibly seeing some of the characters he had created from animation to come into live action in The Mandalorian. And he had that really weird answer where he like stops and smiles and laughs and he says, never say never. And even then we were like, okay, so they're clearly coming, right? And we thought Ahsoka would be in season 1. Well, it looks like it wasn't season 1, it is season 2, but a lot of the thoughts that we had at that time are likely happening. There's a big, wide future for Ahsoka in live action, maybe even showing up in the Kenobi series if they actually move forward with that thing, or her own series, or a series that comes out after that. It could be really cool, could be really great for Rosario Dawson and for the Star Wars fan base as well. But that's the news breaking, folks. Rosario Dawson is going to be Ahsoka Tano in season 2 of The Mandalorian. This is a big freaking deal. I'm very excited to know what you think about this, Star Wars fans, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now let's shout out Maximilian Studios. Indeed, it is Alexei Shostakov that is the real name of the Red Guardian in Marvel Comics. So shout out to you, Maximilian. Now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know, what character did Sabine give the darksaber to at the end of Star Wars Rebels and leave that person in charge of Mandalore? Clearly something happened between that moment and now as Moff Gideon has the darksaber, but the question remains, what was the character that Sabine gave the darksaber to at the end of Star Wars Rebels? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this video. The Den of Nerds is independent media. If you want to support us, you can do something as simple as liking or sharing this video. If you want to financially support us, you can join the list of names you see below and become a supporter of us on Patreon. We also do live streams all week, Monday through Friday, over on our live streaming channel. Support independent media. Support the Den of Nerds.